All right, so picture this. A stadium absolutely packed, fans going wild, and two absolute titans of Spanish football about to clash.
That's the Madrid Derby for February 8th, 2025, Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid.
And you want to know what went down in this clash of titans?
Oh, this one was a nail-biter, let me tell you. All 1-1 draw that keeps the La Liga title race totally up in the air.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a story that could go either way. So, okay, before we get into the really good stuff, for anyone who might be newer to this whole football thing, how about we quickly set the scene? How do these teams like to play? Real Madrid, they're all about that attacking, those wingers flying down the pitch. I think they were born to score.
You got it. They usually line up in this thing called a 4-3-3 formation.
4-3-3. Now, for our newer listeners, break that down for us. What does that even mean on the field?
All right, so picture this 4 defenders. They're like the wall holding that line. Then you got 3 midfielders in the center, kind of controlling the pace of the game. Then up top, you got 3 attackers looking to make magic happen.
Okay, I'm seeing it now. And Real Madrid, they love to hold on to that ball.
Oh, yeah, they're all about possession. Keep that ball moving. Wait for that perfect moment to strike. It's like a well-oiled machine, always searching for a weak spot in that opponent's defense.
So that's one side of the coin?
Yeah.
Then you got Atletico Madrid, managed by the one and only Diego Simeone. Talking about a legend. Those guys, they're known for their grit, their discipline, their ability to just shut down even the most powerful offenses.
And get this, they usually roll with a 4-4-2.
4-4-2.
Yeah.
Okay, different formation. What does that look like? 4
defenders holding it down, just like Real Madrid, but then 4 midfielders creating this super tight wall in the middle makes it tough to break through. Yeah. And up front, you got 2 strikers ready to pounce on any counterattack.
So it's like 2 totally different schools of thought, right?
You got it. Real Madrid, elegant possession-based versus Atletico Madrid, disciplined counterattacking. It's a clash of styles.
A real tactical chess match. And that contrast in approaches was clear from the first whistle, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, you could see it. Real Madrid tried to set the pace right away, using those wide players to stretch Atletico's defense. But Atletico's backline, they were a fortress, holding strong, frustrating Real Madrid's every move.
And now I know everyone's dying to hear about the individual showdowns. We'll get there, trust me. But I think what's really fascinating about this match is how these tactical battles played out.
You're right on the money. It wasn't just about individual talent. It was about these 2 teams with their completely different philosophies trying to outsmart each other.
Yeah, for example, Real Madrid with their 4-3-3, they really tried to exploit those wings. They had Carvajal and Mendy, their fullbacks, constantly pushing forward to support the attack.
It was constant overlapping, trying to create those 2-on-1 situations out wide.
Now, here's where it gets interesting, right? Atletico's 4-4-2, those 2 banks of 4 players, it's specifically designed to prevent those kinds of overload.
Oh, yeah. They were so compact, so disciplined. Real Madrid was having a real tough time breaking them down.
So even though Real Madrid had more of the ball, they weren't getting those easy chances. Atletico, on the other hand, they were just waiting patiently for that perfect moment to spring a counterattack, using their super fast forwards like Griezmann and Alvarez to take advantage of any space left behind by Real Madrid's attacking fullbacks.
It was back and forth, Real Madrid probing, testing, Atletico just soaking up the pressure.
Yeah.
Then, bam, Atletico snags the ball, launches a counterattack. The tension in the stadium, you could feel it.
You could practically see the tactical battle happening right in front of your eyes.
Right.
It really makes you think about formations. They're not just numbers on a whiteboard.
Nope, they're about creating these really specific patterns of play, finding weaknesses, adapting to whatever your opponent is throwing at you.
And in this match, both teams really showed how well they understood their own systems.
Yeah, Real Madrid, their passing, their movement, it was almost like watching a dance. And Atletico, their organization, just incredibly impressive.
Okay, so we set the scene. This is a clash of tactical giants.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the players who made these tactics come alive? We got to talk about those stand-up performances, those moments of brilliance that had everybody talking.
Oh, yeah, we got to dive into that.
Right.
Let's start with Kylian Mbappe. How about that?
Mbappe. That's a name that gets everyone excited. Let's do it.
Oh, Mbappe. Yeah, he didn't have, like, his best game or anything. But, the guy still found a way to leave his mark. He scored the equalizer, showed off those goal-scoring instincts, the ones...
Like he just knows where the ball's going to end up.
Yeah.
But break that goal down for me, would you? For those of us who maybe missed some of the details, how did it all come together?
All right, so it all starts with this amazing run from Rodrigo down that right side. He just blows past the defender and sends this super dangerous cross into the box. Bellingham, he's right there ready to pounce, but his shot gets blocked. And who's there to clean up the mess? Mbappe, of course. Right place, right time. like always.
It's like a textbook Mbappe goal.
Sure.
Anticipation positioning, and that clinical finish. But Atletico had their own star putting on a show, Julian Alvarez. Cool as ice slots home a penalty to give Atletico the lead. The Bernabéu was going crazy, but the pressure didn't faze him. What did you think of that moment? Honestly, penalties in these huge matches, they can rattle even the best players. But Alvarez, he just stepped up and put it away with such confidence, really showed his composure, his ability to perform when it matters most. Talk about cool heads. We can't forget Jan Oblak in that Atletico goal. He was like a brick wall.
He was incredible.
Save after save, denying some of Real Madrid's best players. Was there a save that really stood out to you?
Oh, there were so many. It's hard to pick just one. But that double save in the second half, that one's burned into my memory. First, he stops Vinicius Jr. from point-blank range.
Yeah.
I
I mean, the reflexes to get down to that shot were insane. Then almost instantly, he's got to react again to push away Rodrigo's follow-up. Pure brilliance. Kept Atletico in the game single-handedly. Now, we've been praising Oblak, and he deserves it. But I'm curious, was there anything about his performance, even the tiniest detail, that you thought could have been better? Sometimes those little things can make a huge difference.
That's a good question. I mean, he was almost perfect, but if I had to nitpick, maybe his positioning on Real Madrid's equalizer could have been slightly better. He was a little bit too far off his line, gave Mbappe that extra split second to react to the loose ball. But honestly, even then, it was such a world-class finish from Mbappe, it would have been tough for any keeper to stop.
So Oblak's performance was basically a masterclass in goalkeeping. But even the bad have those tiny moments that can shift the momentum. It really highlights how every single detail matters in these top-level matches. Speaking of momentum shifts, we got to rewind and talk about those turning points. For me, that penalty awarded to Atletico in the 35th minute, that was huge.
Oh, yeah. It was a clumsy challenge from Tchouaméni on Samuel Eto'o.
Mariva didn't think twice about it. You could feel the entire stadium change in that moment. Up until that point, Real Madrid had been in control, but that penalty gave Atletico the lead and, a real mental edge.
It's crazy how one moment, one decision can completely change the story of the match. And it makes you wonder what would happen if that penalty hadn't been given.
But Real Madrid, they didn't just roll over and take it. Carlo Ancelotti, their manager, he made some tactical changes in the second half, pushed for more aggressive play on the wings. And that seemed to make a difference, don't you think?
No doubt about it. Ancelotti showed his tactical genius in this one.
Yeah.
He saw that Atletico's packed defense was tough to break through the middle, so he shifted focus to the sides. Brought on Rodrigo, who brought some real speed and directness to the attack, and that led to the equalizer. Rodrigo's run, his cross, created the chaos that Mbappe just thrives in. Brilliant tactical move unlocked Atletico's defense.
So Ancelotti read the game, adapted his strategy, and it directly resulted in the goal that brought Real Madrid back into it. It wasn't just about bringing on fresh legs. It was about targeting Atletico's weaknesses. It shows you that even at this level, where the margins are so small, a manager's choices can completely change the outcome. But we can't give Ancelotti all the credit. You mentioned Rodrigo. What about his performance?
He was a game changer. He brought this energy, this unpredictability that Real Madrid had been missing in the first half. His runs at the defenders, his willingness to take them on it, really stretched Atletico's defense and opened things up for the other players. It's the perfect example of how a substitute can come in and completely change the feel of a match.
Okay, so we've seen how these tactical battles, individual brilliance, and even those big managerial decisions can shape a match like this. But let's zoom out a bit. What does this result mean for both teams moving forward? What should they be taking away from this match?
Well, for Real Madrid, I think the big takeaway is they need to be more clinical when they're in scoring positions. They created so many chances, especially in that second half, but they just couldn't find that final touch at times.
A little bit wasteful.
Yeah, a bit. And against a team like Atletico, who are so efficient, you can't let those chances slip away.
You're right. They had Oblak to deal with, true, but you'd still expect a team with that much attacking power to finish more of those opportunities. Anything else about Real Madrid's performance that concerned you?
Defensively, they got to tighten things up a bit. That penalty they gave up, that was a lapse in concentration. And against a team like Atletico, who can counterattack so well, those mistakes can really hurt. They can't be giving away easy goals like that if they want to stay on top.
Makes sense. Some areas for Real Madrid to work on.
I don't know.
What about Atletico? What are your thoughts on their performance and what they need to do moving forward?
Atletico. They showed their trademark resilience and defensive strength. They frustrated Real Madrid for a lot of the match and were dangerous on the break. But their main focus has got to be finding more ways to create those scoring chances.
You think they relied a bit too much on counterattacks?
I do. And while that can work, it can also hold them back, especially against a team like Real Madrid, who are so good at keeping possession.
So you're saying they need to be more proactive in their attack, maybe take a few more risks going forward?
Exactly. They need to find ways to break teams down, not just wait for them to slip up. They've got some serious attacking talent with Griezmann and Alvarez, but they need to get those guys more involved, create more opportunities for them to score.
It seems like both teams have their strengths, their weaknesses, and this draw, it really leaves that title race wide open. It's going to be exciting to see how they adapt and change in the matches to come.
No doubt. Every match from now on is going to be crucial. The pressure's on, and the smallest things could make all the difference. You know, watching this match got me thinking about something.
Oh, what's on your mind? Well, we've talked a lot about tactics, formations, these amazing coaching decisions. But I don't know, sometimes it feels like we get so caught up in all that strategy stuff that we forget about the human side of the game.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You can have the perfect game plan, the most detailed strategy, but at the end of the day, it's the players out there on that field that actually make it all happen.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just this moment of brilliance, a flash of magic that can completely change the game. Like, think about Oblak in this match.
Yeah.
Yeah, Atletico's defense was great at keeping Real Madrid away from the goal. But those saves, those reactions, that was all Oblak. He was the one stopping Real Madrid from scoring again and again.
And on the other side, you had Mbappe. He wasn't at his absolute best, but that goal he scored, that was pure instinct. The way he was ready for that rebound, the composure, it's what makes him one of the best.
It's like these moments of brilliance, or even those big mistakes, can sometimes overshadow the tactical battle that's going on. This match, it really showed both sides, didn't it? That strategic battle versus those unpredictable moments of human performance.
It's fascinating. We can analyze formations and talk about tactics all day long, but it's those brilliant plays or those costly errors that often decide the match, and that's part of what makes football so exciting.
You never know what's going to happen next. It
Yeah.
keeps you on the edge of your seat. So I'm going to ask you and everyone listening, what do you think played a bigger role in this Madrid derby? Was it the tactics and discipline of both teams, or those individual moments of brilliance? Was it Ancelotti's changes that shifted the momentum, or Oblak's incredible saves that kept Atletico in it? Was it Mbappe's goal or Tchouaméni's challenge that really made the difference?
That's a tough one. I don't think there's a simple answer. It's that mix of strategy and the unexpected that makes football so interesting. It's like watching a perfectly choreographed dance, but with the possibility of improvisation at any time.
That's a great way to put it. And I think that's what we've tried to show in this deep dive, that sense of wonder, that appreciation for the tactical side of things, but also for those moments of individual brilliance that make this sport so special.
If you're listening and you want to dig deeper into this match, we've got some great resources for you. We've added some detailed tactical analyses and articles in the show notes.
And while you're there, check out some of our other deep dives. We cover a wide range of topics from science and technology to history and culture. We're always searching for those fascinating stories, those ideas that make you think, and those hidden bits of knowledge that make you go, wow, I never knew that.
So if you're curious, if you love learning new things, and if you like having your mind blown every now and then, this is the place to be.
We're so glad you joined us for this deep dive into the Madrid Derby. We hope you learned something new, maybe see things from a new perspective, and maybe even start some debates of your own. Until next time, stay curious, keep exploring, and never stop asking questions.
And as always, thanks for joining us on this journey of discovery.